Brent feels as though God will judge those who commit crimes. Vera also suggests that there might be some form of absolute justice in the universe. Here she does not specify that she believes in God. Do you believe, as these women appear to, that what goes around comes around? What reasons do you have to feel this way? So this is kind of saying like karma. Best known saying was that has been what goes around comes around. This saying has been around for many years. Throughout the story, the theme is all about this saying. Because they are all to blame for murder when they get to the island, for past murders. The karma comes back to them when they are invited and stuck on the island, and the result is to be killed. An example throughout the story would be Emily Brent. She was put on the island and accused for murder because she fired her maid because she was pregnant. And then the girl killed herself because Emily fired her. Emily's karma was getting stung by the bee, but not really the bee, it was a syringe that killed her. And then another good example I would say would be Dr. Armstrong. He got put on the island because he killed someone on the operating table because he was drunk, and he clearly knew that he was not capable of operating on someone. Dr. Armstrong all of a sudden vanished and never came back to the island, so that was his karma. Either his conscience got him to like vanish, or like something bad happened on the island for him and then we just kind of think that he died because everyone else died too. So,
Alright, so I'm arguing against that. I believe that there is no universal rule that declares what goes around comes around. I don't believe in karma. I can bring up lots of examples. There's you can just look back throughout history for any leaders. Like, I'm just gonna throw out, you've probably heard the name Genghis Khan. He's a Mongolian ruler. He conquered half the known world. He killed 40 to 70 million people, which at that time was over 10% of the world's population. He died an emperor and a king of half the known world. That's not fair. That's just killing people and then you get to rule. There's lots of murders in modern day America who were never convicted, but like a lot of people probably remember the Casey Anthony case. Someone who, I don't remember all the details, but basically a mother, she wasn't convicted, but it was pretty clear to everybody that she killed her daughter. She was throwing blame at her parents, and like she never got convicted. Then you can go into the story. There's Justice Wargrave. I guess you could say at the end he died, but he had already killed 9 people, and he was already terminally ill. He died accomplishing his life's goal, which was murdering people. He died happy, which is wrong. So then you want to get into the hypothetical. You can get into like soldiers in war, or anybody, like the person who administers the drugs or on death row. They murder people, but do they deserve to be murdered or to be killed like that? No, soldiers are fighting for what they believe in, So it's not fair to just say they killed someone, they deserve to be killed.
okay, so my debate against it. You may say that no one was put on the island just because they needed karma back to them, but actually that was like the whole point of the island. It was to get back at each other in every one of them. It was fully planned out how to get them there. He looked into their lives of each guest and knew what went on in their life and in their past, and how each one of them has killed and got blamed for something, but not really like served for the crime. He wanted them to squirm and get scared at the beginning because he felt like it was their fault for killing the people in their past. They needed to have it back. They needed to have it back, like karma gets back at them. I understood it in like some of these situations. When people lie about their friends and family or life, people find out about it and people begin not to trust them. So then no one talks to them and they will begin not to have very many friends, and that's kind of like their karma back in life because it comes back around to them because no one wants to be friends with them. My mom always told me to always be nice to everyone because you never know who they will be in the future. So what she really means by this is when you are nice to someone, they might be nice back to you. Like if you pay for someone's meal, then they might buy someone else's, and then you might, your meal might get paid for too at one point. She also says if you're like mean to like one of your classmates, you never know who will they be in the future. So they might be like your boss one day, so they might remember that. We can see the karma happening full circle in these situations because either way it comes back to good in a good way or a bad way. I also hear these sayings from many friends and family. What I didn't really understand was that how it doesn't happen right away. You can't just expect it to happen like the next day. It comes over time and then in the future. I read some articles online and I found two really good ones. One was Richard Thomas. He was accused for raping a girl he knew, but he didn't know that she had HIV and soon found out that he got HIV. So that was kind of his karma because he took advantage of an innocent girl. And I think it said in the story that she was like suffering from an illness but not HIV, so he didn't really know. I also saw another article, Ian Gibson. He was an elephant hunter. He has killed elephant for many years in his life, and one day he went out to measure an elephant's tusk for his research or something. But the elephants they know him as a killer, so they felt a threat by him. So Ian's karma was getting trampled by all of the elephants because they knew him for killing, not just measuring the tusk for research.
Alright, I'd just like to say, I don't deny that sometimes, a lot of times, people do get what they deserve. But what we are arguing is an ultimate, like a law that goes, basically a divine law. So a divine law does not make exceptions. So if we were to believe in this, that would mean that every time someone does something bad, they will, without a doubt, get that favor returned. So really, honestly, I just need to give you one or two examples to disprove that this whole thing exists. You said that some people like Dr. Armstrong everybody there was guilty of killing people. That's fairly obvious. But people can be forgiven and sorrowful for what they've done. Not everybody on the island was like that. Like, look at Emily Brent. But I don't have the exact quotes, but I did at one point. Dr. Armstrong and General MacArthur, they both, at points in the story, expressed supreme regret and sorrow for what they had done. I can remember MacArthur was sitting on the beach wishing that he had never sent that lieutenant into battle to die. And Armstrong was basically crying, talking about how he was drunk performing surgery on that lady. So they were very clearly sorrowful for their actions. So, I'm not going to go all Catholic on you. God will forgive you if you are truly sorry, and it appears to me that they were. Satan did not deserve to get murdered by a cold-blooded madman. So yeah, I can just give you a lot more examples, but that's all I have.